Welcome, friends. My name is Avinash Gorakshekar, and I welcome all of you to another interesting episode of Konexio HighFlyers. Friends, as all of you are aware, we make an effort to introduce emerging companies on this platform and talk to the promoters, the top managements of such companies, so that all of us can understand such companies in a much better way. We get to know what the company's business model is, their growth journey, their future growth plans, and in short, we get a lot of valuable information from the company managements, which helps all our investors to take a proper investment call. And friends, today we've got another interesting company which will be speaking to the management, and the company's name is Fabtech Technologies Cleanrooms Limited. And we have the privilege of having the chairman of the company, Mr. Aasif Ahsan Khan. Asif ji, thank you very much for sparing your valuable time with us today. I'm pretty sure that in this small interaction we have today, we'll be able to understand your company's operations from your side in a much better manner.
I'll try my best. Thank you so much for having me.
So, Asif ji, first question is if you could broadly tell us, what is the main business of our company? What is the business model? If you could give us some idea. And typically in the domestic market, how is our company positioned? And, if you could tell us in your own words, how has the business journey transformed till now? I mean, how did you get into this business? How did this business start about? And was it a first generation effort or has it come from your father and then you took it over? So if you could please share your thoughts.
Yes. So to start the other way around, Fabtech is the first generation initiative. I started my career with a small company manufacturing air filters for clean rooms, that is AirTech. And then over the next few years, got an overall hang of the clean room industry. At that point of time, clean rooms were just about to begin with hardly a few companies and few. It was not so. It was not on the takeoff point. It was just about to grow. As luck would have it, liberalization started, and there was a whole doors of opportunities which opened up over the last 2 decades that we are in existence. We consolidated our position in the clean room industry. Now, clean room industry, as we know, or if the audience don't know, I'll give a brief. There is a upstream part and there is a downstream part. The upstream part basically is the precision air conditioning, uh, cleaning, sterilization of the air, which is processed. The air is processed and fed into the room, and then the hardware part that we do, or the downstream part that we do, we build the internal infrastructure in a facility, namely prefabricated, pre-engineered, insulated modular panels, which, as the name suggests, are modular in nature. And then your view panels and doors and terminal boxes and return airs, that comprises the hardware of the clean room. Arguably, we were the first one in India to start this initiative. Earlier, before us, clean rooms and the clean room infrastructure was generally brick and mortar. And brick and mortar has its own deficiencies and shortcomings. And this particular methodology was being done extensively in Europe, in the West, basically. We were the first ones, arguably, to get it. When we started, we had initially a few years of challenging times when it was difficult to convince people of this new execution internal construction methodology. And the first success happened with Aurobindo, which, to our good fortune, got approved by US FDA. And after that, there was no looking back. Till 2004, there were hardly three European companies operating, but it was exorbitant. The costs were prohibitive, so the technology was not democratized. We kind of democratized the clean room partition technology in India. We have to our credit, the who's and who of the Indian pharma industry. So basically, today I can say we are a 25-year-old startup. Now is the time when the industry is on a takeoff point. Clean room industry is offering tremendous growth potential, where with the onset of semiconductors, electronic, high-tech hospitals, operation theaters, even automotive components being wanting to be manufactured in clean rooms. Basically, the sky is the limit. We so far have been in the hardware part or in the downstream part, as I mentioned. We have taken a step last year to get into the upstream part also, which will almost double the ticket size in the pharma industry and give us a very beautiful foothold in the semiconductors, data centers, electronic industry. So, yeah, we are looking forward to an exciting time ahead. In terms of competition, there are two. When we began, we had three large competitors. We all began together. And today, all those have been acquired by Japanese companies. As you know, a lot of Japanese investments are flowing into India, and naturally, they found these companies a good fit for them. They had and incidentally, and very, uh, I'm happy to state that all these Japanese companies had first approached Fabtech to acquire, but we had other plans. We want to grow ourselves rather than be acquired by a foreign national. And uh, the other aspect is the clean room industry in India is a largely fragmented industry. There are a lot of small players which you would see in the country. We have started this exercise of consolidating regional cleanroom companies, and we have aspirations to basically consolidate, to acquire, to create a formidable clean room entity in India.
Yeah, I think very nicely articulated, Asifji.
Thank you.
Asifji, now just correct me if I'm wrong. I wanted to understand that whenever you manufacture a clean room for a client, is it a custom-made product? Is the configuration going to be different for every customer, or is it a standardized product which you have got on the table, which you offer to the customers? Is a certain degree of customization always necessary for you to cater to the customer? If you could, please dwell on this and explain to us.
It's a very tricky question. It's a very tricky question, but yes, the downstream part that we do has, I would say, 50% of standardization, and balance 50% you have to accommodate the clean room requirements, the customer requirements, and the product requirements, people requirement, and the environmental requirements.
Okay,
And no two clean rooms, no two facilities are the same.
okay,
Clean room
okay.
standards, fortunately, clean room are governed by international standards, so that makes a life a little easy. But there is a lot more to clean rooms than what we see today, and that is what now the clean room industry it's getting into. uh,
Okay.
I would say it's in the second year and it's getting into the third, fourth, and the fifth year very soon. And
Okay.
you would not have many companies who would be able to cater to the requirement going forward, largely because in a pharma segment, and we're breaking out from the pharma where we have consolidated our position, much more critical clean rooms, to a particulate point of view, higher levels in the non-pharma segments, namely
Correct.
semiconductor, electronics, and data centers and stuff, and micro precision.
No, no, that's fine. I think, Asifji, I got the sense from your answer.
Yeah.
Tell me, sir, are we present pan India, or are we present in only certain, regional pockets like Western India, Central India? What's the kind of marketing touch points, which we have currently?
We are present pan India. We are
Okay.
extremely strong in the west. We are very good in the south and the north as well. So we are present in nook and corner of the country to service every single customer which comes our way.
Okay. Asif ji, you mentioned about the pharma sector where you said you have consolidated your position. So, if you could share some names for us,
Yes,
which are the marquee customers? You said Aurobindo Pharma was one of your first customer. Sir,
that's
apart
right.
from that, any other customer names that you can share so that we can understand your company's profile in a much better manner?
Understood. And that also brings me to the point which I had lost my thought on. So I'll dwell on this one also. So in the pharma, we have likes of Aurobindo, we have Novartis, we have GSK, we have Softech, we have Geltech for soft gel, we have Bosch for spark plugs, we have Terumo Penpol for blood bags, we have Fresenius, which Dabur earlier, which got acquired by Fresenius, of course. Then we
Okay.
have Ranbaxy, which got acquired by Sun Pharma. So every single pharma company in the country, we would have something or the other to do with them.
Okay.
And when I was saying, and I lost my thought the last time, pharma industry, when you see the pharma industry, an average ticket size of a clean room would be from 5 to 15 crores max. But the
Okay.
industry that we are stepping in, semiconductors, and we are at this moment as we speak, we are bidding for projects, and an average ticket size in the non-pharma segment is from 50 crores to 150 crores.
Okay. Okay. Understood. And now, Asif, since you said that the average ticket size for the non-pharma customers is very large, I just wanted to understand, is this business an order book driven business, or is it a make to order business that you've got a regular set of clients? They come and tell you, okay, I want to build 2 clean rooms or 3 clean rooms, and based on their requirements, you get back to the drawing room, give them a proper solution. So, sir, ये कैसे होता है? एक पक्का order book होता है, yeah, whether it is a rolling business, you get orders on a regular basis. How does the business work?
It's both. It's both. Going forward, it would be a large ticket business, but at the end, as in the past, so far, we have built loyal clients, and there are clients like Glenmark, there are clients like Sun Pharma. Once we have started working with them, and we have the wavelength matched, then it flows. 78%, 73% of our business is repeat.
Okay,
73% of our business is repeat. So all those customers for whom we have done projects which has got international accreditations, they would definitely want to repeat the winning team. You
okay.
see.
No, understood. I think very nicely articulated, sir. Sir, now let's talk about the kind of the macro scenario. Like you have been one of the few early players in the clean room market. According to you, in the next say 3 to 5 years, apart from your presence in the pharma sector, you mentioned semiconductors, then you mentioned about other sectors, also which are going to be very prominent customers. How big can be the market opportunity for clean rooms over the next say 3 to 5 years? If you could tell us something about the market opportunity, sir.
Certainly. The most beautiful thing is this story is similar to a gentleman going into an island where nobody was wearing shoes. And two companies sent their professionals. One of them said there is no market because nobody wears shoes. And the other one says there's a huge market, there is a huge potential because nobody wears shoes. In this particular industry, the most important thing is we don't know the market size. The investments are just flowing. There is 100,000 crores worth of investments just moving into semiconductors itself. And I would say if also 5% of this is clean rooms, then 5,000 crore is an immediate market for semiconductors. Add to this automotive, add to this automotive components, add to this precision industry, and of course, a lot of investment is flowing into pharma. I would not really know the exact size of the market, and that's the beauty of it. Then there is no ceiling. We don't see a ceiling coming here. You got my point. And
Okay.
we have right now, as I said, we're a startup of around 20 years, 25 years. I've lost count how much when we came into existence. But slowly over a period of time, we built our capability to manufacture clean room partitions. We invested in company manufacturing air handling units, and we are diversifying soon into dehumidifiers, and we invested in a upstream company called Kelvin, right? And so far all the initiatives that we have been taking, foreseeing the future growth in the market, which is phenomenal, which is unprecedented. And I can say the next 5 years the industry will grow at 10 times rapid pace than it has grown in the last 25 years.
Okay.
So that is the potential that we are seeing.
Okay. So I think very nicely articulated, Asif ji.
Thank you.
Asif ji, now tell me one thing. You mentioned in your earlier remark that you were the only company, I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong, that you democratized basically the pricing, as far as clean rooms were concerned. They were very exorbitant. Now tell us, sir, what is the pricing power in our business for a company like ours? Like, obviously, you customize the product, you give the product, the right quality. सर इसमें कितना लेवल का प्राइसिंग लेवल होता है लाइक यू गिव समथिंग टू Aurobindo Pharma who's an existing customer just as an example sir do they budge on the price or are they convinced that okay your quality is great so even if you're slightly expensive or slightly pricey still the product is accepted so how does it work in the business?
So we have built a fantastic relationship ever since inception, based on the performances that we have delivered. Nobody really wants to disturb a winning team. So once a winning team has gotten a USFD approval or an MHR UK approval, then really the repeats also automatically come to us, and there the pricing really takes a secondary position. Having said that, we are, because of the sheer volumes that the project turnaround is very, very important. Time is a critical factor over here. So it's a matter of we having operational efficiency enhanced, which, or even when we have taken business decisions to penetrate a particular company, we have ended up making decent margins on the company level, you see. And we have a very beautiful ops efficiency team led by Ripal Doshi, who's ex Siemens. And our factory capacities have multiplied 8 times with the same setup.
Okay.
Eight
Okay.
times with the same setup, a little tweak in the shifts, and here we are. But going forward, the factory capacity is not going to be the limiting factor for our growth, because then we are going from a product into a kind of a project business.
Okay. Okay. Now understood. Asif ji, now coming on the qualitative aspect of the business, like you said, people are convinced that, our product is very good. Now, in terms of the value which you add to the customers, forget about the financials. I just want to add, is it the service? Is it the execution? You said, the production time cycle, by the time the product is finally delivered to the customers, what are the two or three qualitative aspects according to you where, our company is doing a much better job in the industry and where you feel as a promoter you have really done a commendable job compared to the other players, so if you could share your thoughts.
So I was born, my career, the first job that I took was airtech, as I said. I was born in the clean room industry. So over as we grew up, there are certain nitty-gritties of clean rooms that we automatically, in a growth period, imbibed. When others had to really forcefully learn it, it came to us, you see. That's number one. Number two, in the pharma segment, when we are talking about products and tech transfers and process know-hows, the you have to understand Fabtech, the other group companies, we have a very beautiful ecosystem, from process know-hows to pharma projects to clean rooms to air handling unit manufacturing to capsule filler manufacturing. So this is a very beautiful ecosystem. Every single aspect of the ecosystem helps us in convincing the customer that we just don't know the clean room, we also know the entire process. And any other equipment which has to interface with our clean room, we have experience to fit that in, and deliver to them a product as a whole. And though they might have consultants helping them out, but we become a verification point or a vetting point. Consultant delivers the design and we bring a practical aspect to the whole thing.
Okay.
Now, going forward in the non-pharma segment, we have taken certain steps also to understand the semiconductor products. So how an electronic component is being built, what are the nitty-gritties behind that, and we approach the whole project from that perspective.
Okay, understood. I think very nicely articulated. Now, Asif ji, let's talk about the financials. I was just seeing the FY24 financials versus previous year numbers. Now, tell us
Yes,
one thing, sir. What was the reason for the top line to be slightly lower? I believe the top line was about 97 crores compared to 124 crores, and
correct.
profit also accordingly was 5.64 crores. So, any specific reason why the top line was down? Any
Yes,
specific reason which you could share for us?
yes. We saw COVID, and COVID we got impacted, and everyone got impacted badly. So the 124 crore is a spike which happened due to the overflowing of the COVID year into this year, and then in the next year it got rationalized. So today, if you see from 97 crores, we will be a half year figure has already crossed the 5 crore pat,
Okay,
and
fine.
we are slated with a very beautiful order position to beat the previous year's number.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
basically, this aberration happened because of the year where COVID, you got a lot of orders, and then the year stabilized. So that is
That's
understandable. Sir, let us understand one thing that in our business, as your order book grows, as your execution grows, can we assume that, sir, agar top line bhi badhta hai, if the top line grows, proportionately, can we expect the operating profit margins also to improve in sync with the increase in revenue?
Yes. So what we learned in COVID, when we reached the 124 crore abnormal mark, we did some operational efficiency measures, and those operational efficiency measures are helping us in this year. And you see a immediate reflection of that in the PAT. The 6 months PAT is 5 crores, whereas the last year full year PAT was 5.5 crores something.
Okay.
Right? That's
Okay.
one.
Understood.
And as the order book grows, yes, as the order book grows, our PAT will have incremental jump.
Okay. Okay. Understood. Okay, now, Asif ji, for the most important question of the interview, like the company is planning to go public. Sir, if you could give us some idea about what is the kind of objective of raising money from this public offer, and basically, what is the amount which you are planning to raise? I mean, basically, just to get an idea as to how the capital market issue is planned. And one more thing to add to this is, I was reading one of your objectives is that I believe you all are wanting to increase the stake in Kelvin. So, what is the strategic intention of raising equity stake in Kelvin? If you could please tell us.
Yes, please. So we are raising around 27.5 crores, and largely because we are seeing, and there will be, and that's already begun, large ticket size projects are in the bag that would lead to enhancement of working capital, and also a little bit of production capacity tweaking. We have, if you see our product mix, we have PU panels, we have PIR panels, and we have rock wool panels. Rock wool panel consumptions in the country is increasing, so we will be adding those capacities in the factory. Plus, largely towards the working capital readiness for the big ticket projects. And Kelvin, it's a very interesting, there was a strong belief that doing the physical the downstream infrastructure, if we have the upstream infrastructure and together as a package we are rolling this out to the same network that we have already established, this would increase our ticket size, number one. And you will see the numbers of Kelvin. I don't know if I'm supposed to reveal, but I think so. Yes, it should be. When we invested in Kelvin, it was a 25 crore company. We are now touching at 44 crores this year in just 1 year. So that
Okay.
is, and at the onset when we invested, acquired one third, we had said that if Kelvin reaches a particular number, the benchmark, the target, then we would be acquiring further to 51%, enabling us to consolidate that in our balance sheet.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Okay. So basically, it is like getting a complete integrated setup, to offer a value-added kind of customer product lineup to the customers and to get bigger projects. So is this thinking right?
Absolutely. So we want to become a leading provider of clean room sector agnostic, vertically integrated clean room solutions provider, acquiring strategic precision HVAC companies and regional players, and leveraging our in-house manufacturing capabilities to deliver what the customer needs. And every step that we take reaches closer to the customer.
Understood. I think very nicely articulated. Now, Asif ji, a very basic business related question, like what is the normal working capital cycle in our business? Because we are handling a fairly capital intensive product, which takes a fair amount of time to deliver to the customer. So right from the time you get the order, you build the inventory, you complete the product, and then the customer pays you. What is the normal working capital cycle in our business?
So the normal working capital cycle is around 90 days. Uh, there is a 10 to 20% of the order value given to us as advance. And then upon the material delivery, we have around 70 to 80% collected. And the
Okay.
remaining 5 to 10% is usually within 6 months from the date of commissioning. That's how it
Okay.
works.
And one production related question, Asif ji, once the clean room is finally delivered to the customer, is some testing done by the customer? Everything is perfect, like, you have delivered it, 100% सब कुछ ठीक है. तो सर इसमें मैंडेटरीली कस्टमर ही चेक करता है या कोई दूसरा आउटसाइड एजेंसी आके वो चेक करती है जस्ट टू एंश्योर दैट थिंग्स आर ऑल राइट?
या तो यहाँ से शुरू होता है कि all the products that we manufacture and produce in the ecosystem and outside, that is air handling units, the partitions, the filters, the chillers, and then simple components as ductings and risers and pressure differentials, we have certifications for each of this product done, whether it's a CE certification or an FM approval, or we're the only company having Dubai municipality approval of 2 hours fire rating. So all these fire rating approvals are done, and then after the clean room is installed, we first ourselves validate it and give it to the customer for them to do a third party validation.
Okay, fine. So basically, a lot of cross verification happens before the final product gets operational from the customer side.
That's very
Asif
easy.
ji, now,
Very
yeah,
easy because the quality and the performance has to be now inbuilt. Gone are those days when we say we are a better quality product, so the customer will give us. No, the customer will prefer us. He prefers us because of our Jan Tor service, because
uh,
we are there before we.
okay,
That's the differentiator, I guess.
okay. And Asif ji, now one related question, if you can pardon me, sir, is there any O&M part of the business? Like, clean room तो बन गया, आपने कस्टमर को दे दिया, अभी 2 साल 3 साल पुराना कस्टमर है, वो क्लीन रूम को अपडेटेड रखने के लिए, उसका सर्विसिंग करने के लिए, डू यू हैव सम मैकेनिज्म बाय व्हिच you cater to the customer? I mean, does it have any O&M component to that?
So far, that has really not been explored by us, but that is something of an avenue which we can explore by providing validation services, by providing AMCs, by providing spares and change. We have made it so simple that the customer really does not depend on us for every. He's not trapped by us. It's universal. It's freedom
Okay,
for him. But
okay,
given if we venture into that, we're sure that he would love to have us on the table giving him the service.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you all can add a little more value because that trust factor also will be there with you when you
absolutely,
talk to such customers. Sir, final
absolutely.
question, Asif ji, we have seen COVID and you mentioned about COVID in one of your answers. Sir, tell me one thing, in our business, what is the most important business risk? You have managed this company for the last 25 years. Tell me one thing, sir, what is the most important risk you see in the business and how have you managed it so successfully till now?
Well, we have had the challenges in the past. Also, when we were ready, the customer was not ready. The projects delays happen. There are time overruns. There are times when we are ready with the material, the customer is not ready. All right, and most of the times, and because it is largely India-centric business, unpredictability is quite less.
Okay.
So that's the reason. But then, yeah, any business is fraught of risk. You never know. A fire takes place. You never know, a natural calamity strikes us again. You again never know if, and pandemics will keep on happening. Pandemics
Yeah.
will keep on happening. So that's another risk. Everybody internationally is preparing for the pandemic preparedness. But that's the other company also which is getting prepared for this eventuality and opening doors also for Fabtech to even do
Yeah.
clean rooms in those markets.
So fine. I think very nicely articulated by you, Asif ji. Thank you very much, for explaining us the company in a very beautiful manner, and I'm quite sure all our investors would also benefit. Sir, please
Thank
accept
you.
my best wishes to you, your entire management team, and sir, best
Thank you.
wishes for a forthcoming public offer also. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The first one of my kind, so I'm not used to it, but I hope it's delivered. I don't know. Thank you so much. God bless you.